So I recently met a guy who was starting to complain to me that real life approaches in Barcelona are getting very, very difficult. Apparently there's this local TikToker that has gone semi-viral for doing real life approaches, and this other guy was telling me, oh, you know, nowadays it's like very difficult because everyone knows about cold approach, and on this street there are like 5 or 10 other people, guys who do real life approaches, and it's just very difficult, it's very saturated, and it's almost impossible to get a date. And honestly, this kind of pissed me off because this is like the oldest excuse in the book, blaming the outside environment, blaming that something is not happening. Because funny thing is that most guys actually blame the opposite. They say, oh, well, no one is doing it. No one is doing real life approaches and it's socially unacceptable. Hence, I cannot do it. And this specific guy, he actually used to have this excuse. And now, after all this time, because I've known him for few years, now he has this other excuse that it's too popular, it's too saturated. So dude, like, pick your poison. Is it too saturated, or is it not popular, or is it not socially acceptable? Because these kind of guys, they love to blame everything else except themselves. They always blame the outside factors, they always blame the environment. But this dude, he hasn't looked inward. He hasn't really said, okay, well, how good are my skills? How good am I doing it? Because quite frankly, it doesn't matter how many other guys are doing real life approaches, because I can tell you from experience, I've talked to women who've told me, look, before you came to talk to me, there were 3 or 4 other guys that came to do exactly what you did, but I actually gave my number only to you. And that's the thing. If you can approach women better than every other guy, and you can make them feel something that they haven't felt before, then it doesn't matter how many dudes approach them that day, that week, or that year, because you are standing out. And this is my advice to you, is that be so good they can't ignore you. If you are better than every other guy, it doesn't matter how many guys are doing real life approaches. It doesn't really matter what everyone else is doing. Just be better. Be better than everyone else. And that's always been my attitude. I don't care how many guys are doing this or not doing this. If no one is doing this, fine. I'm gonna be the first one in the city to do this. If everyone's doing it, great. I'm gonna be better than everyone else, and that's how I'm gonna get results. So you have to start looking inward. You have to start taking ownership of your results. You have to start taking ownership on the fact that if you're not getting results, it's on to you and it's not on someone else. It's not it's too popular, it's not popular. It's on you. Like, how good are your conversations? How confident are you? How much work have you put into this? How many excuses are you making? Because if you're making a lot of excuses and you're not doing much and you're not trying to improve like this guy, just going out there and blaming in external factors, then of course you're not going to get results. And it's always going to be easier to blame someone else, the environment, but the bottom line, it doesn't matter what no one else is doing. It doesn't matter if 10 other guys have approached that single girl, because when you do it, if you can be better than 10 other men, which you can, it's not that hard, because most guys are not very good at this, quite frankly, then it doesn't matter, because you're going to get the date in the end. So stop blaming the external environment. Start taking ownership of your results or lack of results in this area, and stop caring about what other people are doing, because it is irrelevant. It's Gus Olsen, and I'll see you in the next video.